Hello everyone, I'm Sarah. Today I'm going to talk to you about my software called Spectre Eye. But before that, I want to discuss one of the techniques I use by diving into one of the most critical conflict points of modern cybersecurity: user notebooking and evasion. Uh, as known, modern in my Spectre Eye project, I combined three core technical architectures to turn this theory into reality: dynamic SNM resolution, allocate, to ensure my program works, independently of the Windows version. It doesn't use hard-coded size and numbers. At runtime, it scans anti-DLL, but DLL detects hooks and extracts the correct numbers using the allocate algorithm. While doing this, it uses the structured exception handling SEH try except architecture to prevent possible memory access violations. The direct size tells via MASM X X64 assembly. So size inline assembly is not supported in the Windows 64 bits architecture. I consolidated clean size calcs into an external Microsoft macro assembler. That's ASM file by directly transferring the dynamic size cal numbers obtained from the C++ layer into the process registers R10 and uh, R10 and EX register. We trigger the size cal instruction directly. The ADRs user mode observation power is completely bypassed. Heuristic memory scanning. After establishing a direct bridge to kernel level, we create virtual memory maps, mem privates, and mem commits of process into system. Here we hunt for two suspicious conditions. That's now on the most exciting part of the work, the live demo. As you can see on the screen, we are on Windows Virtual Machine. We are on VirtualBox. We have a victim process running in the background for testing purposes. A hidden shellcode has been injected into this process and trying to hide in memory. We check the PID process ID value of or victim process from Task Manager or Process Explorer. Uh, No, I'm launching the tool I developed Spectre Eye. As you can see it, course successfully synchronized the direct size scale table by bypassing all EDR hooks in user mode. And here here is the result. Spectre Eye detected the target PID in seconds. Pay attention to red locks onto secret critical hidden key executable and